Hello, friends. Does the screen go blank at death? When Samantha was just shy of her 5th birthday, an age when her delight in every manner of living creature was well underway, she noticed a snail on the sidewalk. This was the same snail she noticed just a few hours earlier, slowly crawling down the front steps of her home. Only now it was smashed on the sidewalk. "What happened to it?" she asked. "It looks like it got stepped on, Samantha," said her mom. "But why isn't it moving?" Her mom looked at her husband as if handing off the conversation to him. He said, "Samantha, it's not moving because it's died." She slowed her walk toward the house and looked puzzled. Then she looked up at her dad and said, "Will you die, Daddy?" "Yes, Samantha, I will." "Will Sister die?" "One day, yes." "Will Mommy die?" "Yes." Tears began to fill her eyes. "Will I die?" "Yes, Samantha. One day, a long, long time from now, you will." Now inside the house, Samantha began to cry uncontrollably. When she calmed down just a bit, her dad continued, "Samantha, I know that makes you afraid. That's okay. But why are you so upset? Are you afraid that you'll miss Mommy?" "No." Are you afraid you'll miss your sister?" "No." "Are you afraid you'll miss me?" "No." She looked up at her dad, eyes swimming with tears, and said, "I'll miss myself." When I first heard this strangely beautiful story from Samantha's dad, an Anglican priest, it almost took my breath away. Here was a little girl who grasped the human situation in all its sadness. She hadn't been introduced to any of the strategies that adults use to drown out the terrifying thought of ceasing to be. She saw the truth raw, what most of us have felt at one time or another. In this video, we'll consider the only answer that would have a chance of consoling Samantha. That while death will certainly mean missing those she leaves behind, it won't mean missing herself. Science is king. At public universities like the place where I taught before retiring, too often it steps beyond its boundaries and claims that human beings are entirely material organisms, nothing more than physical stuff. Too often students emerge from their classes thinking that belief in spiritual worlds and beings is for the weak of mind. But what a forlorn worldview this is, as Samantha precociously saw. Parents and children all annihilated, reduced to nothing at death. As the celebrated atheist Christopher Hitchens said shortly before his death, "When I speak of annihilation, I mean just that the screen goes blank." Does the screen really go blank? Hitchens was rightly distressed at the thought of extinction. So was Woody Allen when he wrote, "I don't want to achieve immortality through my work. I want to achieve immortality through not dying." Like Hitchens, I'm not capable of believing something just because it's written in a scripture or promulgated by a religious leader. I need evidence. And in that way, we are very similar. Why then do we come to such different conclusions? My impression of him, of Hitchens, is that he didn't make a serious, in-depth study of the evidence that's available to everybody today. The eminent English historian Arnold Toynbee was, like Hitchens, a non-believer in survival for almost all his life. But he changed his mind shortly before his death in 1975 and credited research on the near-death experience for the shift. The last book he wrote and edited was titled Life After Death in 1976. Since his death, the field of psychical research has grown far beyond anything he could have imagined. Not only do we get assurance that there is life after death, we even get hints of its nature, a spiritual world more plausible and attractive than any given to us by the world's religions. This evidence will probably not be enough to convince avowed physicalists that they survived death, for they are certain that the brain generates consciousness, so when the brain dies, so do we. My colleagues and I find overwhelming support for a different view, that the brain works with consciousness as its organ while embodied, but that the brain is not necessary for consciousness to exist when the body frees it. Teilhard de Chardin wrote, "The future belongs to those who give the next generation reason for hope." I am confident that Samantha's tears will dry when she's old enough to appreciate the good news I've been sharing with you in these many videos. And if ever our unreasonable fear of death should be supplanted on a planetary scale, the whole meaning of life would begin to shine through, and with it, a collective sigh of relief the world has never known before so clearly. I'm Stafford Beatty, the Afterlife Professor. Good evening.